Democrats and the media not waiting for any of these facts to come out. They moved immediately to politicize the attack.
I want to know if this woman trans man is shooting up a Christian school that she knew was a Christian school. Is it a hate crime?
Well, school shooter was identified as a 28-year-old who is transgender.
The suspect, who identifies as a transgender, was a former student.
The shooter, identified as a 28-year-old transgender former student.
The surveillance video from inside the school shows the trans killer neutralizing the trans killer. The police chief says the trans shooter handed out a manifesto. The trans mass shooter messaged a friend saying this: so a mentally ill trans girl was stockpiling guns. What's going on in the trans community? Remember, there have been members of the trans community calling for a day of rage. And a radical trans group, the Trans Resistance Network, is already coming to the Nashville shooter's defense. So the trans community is sympathizing with the child killer. CNN is saying the trans situation had nothing to do with a hate crime. He wants to strip your rights away because of what a trans killer did. It's too dicey to talk about parents and transgender, mental health, hardening soft targets. They don't want to go there. Surgeons are making an obscene amount of money off trans. How does the trans element factor into the violence here?
It's very central to the violence. They didn't, quote unquote, accept the facts that she was transgender. It's a lie that parents have to choose between a live transgender child and a dead straight one.
Why do you think the press doesn't want to focus on the parents' accountability, on the mental illness, on the trans factor?
You mentioned the trans issue. Can we now finally talk about militant trans violence and what these activists are leading us to?
You saw the top of the show. We have this trans mass shooter.
The fact that it was a fact that the shooter was a trans individual and that the last 4 mass shootings have involved trans individuals.